Salutations. I'm your host, CEO, and Chairman of the Board, Patrick Scott. On the show, where we interview regular people like you and me who are bored enough to come on the show with the understanding that each and every one of us has a unique and interesting story. If you'd like to tell your story, we'd love to give you a seat on the board. Just email chairmanoftheboardlu@gmail.com. We record and upload weekly at LUTV News and Media online. And now, this board meeting is in session. This guest is a first-generation college student here at Lamar University, hailing from Baytown, Texas, otherwise known as the Dirty Bay. He's a Hispanic man who is proud of his heritage and a freshman who seemed to fit right in here at Lamar University. From the moment he walked in, he just fit right in. And he's a three-time UIL champion from Ross S. Sterling High School. Introducing Mr. Jonathan Garcia. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Patrick. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, no problem, man. Anytime.
Yeah, so before we get rolling too deep, I just wanted to comment a little bit about when you first came into the studio, you just kind of fit right in with everybody. And you weren't just fitting in, you were adding your heart and your brain to the projects that we had going here. You were giving us constructive criticism. You were just pitching right in. You just fell right into the mix with us. So have you always been that way? Is this just something that you kind of exploded into when you came to college for the first time? Like, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, my mom always notices I'm a talker, right? And she always be like, "Mijo, don't say no nonsense. Don't embarrass me." So like, when I was trying to choose my major, I was like, well, I've always been compassionate about broadcasting and like how people like relay the news out there in their own special way. And I've always wanted to do that in my life.
You always wanted to be in broadcasting?
Yeah, I've always wanted to be in broadcasting. It's a very interesting thing to me. And also, they help make moments that athletes produce. So like, I used to work at this old restaurant, and I was like telling them about like my college ambitions, and she's like, "Yeah, I can see you're very passionate, because like everything I follow, everything I do, I'm very passionate about it." So she saw that in me, and then once I got here, I knew there was gonna be people just like me who are gonna be passionate about the same things. So I think my personality just blended in well
with everyone. What restaurant did you work at?
El Toro in Baytown, Texas.
El Toro's.
Yeah.
They have great fajitas.
Yeah, it's good. I would say I have like mixed emotions about it, because I worked there from like my junior year, like the end of my junior year, to like the day before I moved in. It was my last day there.
Were you doing cook or were you busboy?
I was a busser.
Okay, you were a busser. That's hard work.
So what was it? My friend Ricky, he actually like trained me and everything, and we were already like cool from like middle school. We knew about each other, and then like once we started working a lot together, we basically became like brothers. Like that was one of my, well, I considered him at one point like my relative, because that's how close we got. We got to know each other like on a very personal level, because at the end of the day, you're just working right aside each other. So we got to know each other, and we still have that really tight bond with each other, even though we're an hour away from each other now.
How does that work with friends and family being so far away from Baytown? Because I'm from Mont Bellevue, so I'm right next to Baytown from where you're from, and it can be quite a drive coming to campus. But what's that like, trying to keep in touch?
Yeah, like I always try to keep in touch with like my family and everything, like keep them updated, like, hey, or like they'll text me out the blue, like, "Hey, what are you doing? How's class?" I'm like, "Yeah, class is good," and everything. Or like, we're doing this today, or like I just got out of class, and they're like, "Oh, so how you like it over there?" I was like, it's cool. Like obviously I miss stuff about my hometown, like the people and everything. I guess it's just because I'm the only one over here. They're like, "Oh, we need to like see how Johnny's doing," because especially since I'm one of the youngest in my family, so at least everyone else in my family that went to college has like got a couple years underneath. I'm a freshman, so they're like, "Oh, we need to check on Johnny, see if he's like transitioning well and how he's doing and everything." My friends, most of them went to like the local community college over there, Elite College.
Okay.
So, and I was like one of the only people that they know of that went to like a university. They were like all proud of me. Like I sent them like my acceptance letter. They're like, "Oh my God, I'm so proud of you, Johnny. Like go do it, man." They're like, "What are you trying to do?" I'm like, "Broadcasting." They're like, "Hey, one day hopefully I see you in the news and everything."
Oh, maybe they'll see you on this.
Yeah.
Yes.
You never know.
Yes, indeed. It's the breakout story.
Yeah.
This is where it all began. And you have another segment coming up that you're going to work on today. Is that right?
Yeah.
What is
So
that? You want to plug it?
yeah, real quick. So it's me, Cameron, Trayvon, and Brett. We're actually doing the media timeout where we like talk about like different topics towards like sports, and so it'll be, I believe Cameron is leading it, and then all of us have like our own turns to like just talk about like the different topics on whatever. And we barely started this like last week. Gordon sat us down and he brought us the topic like, oh, how do you feel about Tom Brady's off the field issues right now that's going on with him and his wife? And we all like had like a organic chemistry with each other. And he was like, I like this. I feel like this can work. Come back next week. I'm gonna send y'all a script real quick, and let's see what we can do with this, because we potentially might be on the show and everything.
Well,
So
that's like I said, it's very rare to have somebody, especially a freshman that just came into college. It can be overwhelming. There's a lot of information, especially in broadcasting. There's a lot of positions to learn, script writing. You're learning lighting, you're learning cameras, you're learning everything at once. And so for you to come in and immediately, you're already trying to put together a segment or participate in a segment.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
So,
and for me, like, I'm very grateful for like the opportunities. Like, if I didn't like meet like the people around here and like show like, oh, so this how you do this, like this how you do teleprompt, this how you do like changing all the cameras and everything, this how you do audio, this how you do the graphics. Like for me, this is like great for me, because like maybe like in the future, maybe I don't want to be on the camera. Maybe I want to do some behind the camera stuff, and then
right, you're just figuring it out.
yeah, then I'll have like that experience with it. So I'm still trying to like see what I can do with both of them.
That's what college is all about.
Yeah.
So what was it like coming from? Did you come straight from high school to college, or did you take a little break in between?
No,
How'd that work?
I went straight from high school to college.
Was that
It was-
eye-opening experience?
It was nerve-wracking at
what?
first, because I'm not gonna lie, I applied here late.
Uh-huh.
So I was like, I'm not even gonna get accepted here. Like I'm not sure.
You didn't
like,
think you were gonna get accepted?
Yeah, because
Okay.
like my grades were good enough, but like I wasn't like sure, because I always like have that like self-doubt on myself. Like, hey, I know I could do way better. I don't think I can get here. I don't know if I
How
can
did you
do this.
overcome that?
I just started filling out stuff. I'm like, let's just wait it out and see. And then like a week or two later, I got accepted. And it was like at 3 a.m. when I was like, huh? Like, what does that say? And then I realized, I was like, oh, okay.
Did y'all throw a party or what?
My mom, she was so happy for me. Like the day I texted her, she was like, oh my God, mijo, yes, thankfully. Because she really wanted me to come here, because she told me a lot of times, she's like, mijo, if you go to Lamar, you don't know nobody there. You don't know where anything is. So you can just really hunker down, just study, and try to do what you want to do in your life.
Well, and you've always been kind of a study person or a studious person. The three-time UIL champ.
Yeah. Like with choir and everything, like we had a lot of talent with us like throughout all my years. So like anytime we all got into a group, we all like hunkered down and like try to like figure out how we could like do this section of the song, or like how to like hit these notes at a certain time, or like listen for this part so we can come in. So we would always like try to like hunker down and like try to like make sure like, hey, everyone's getting this. We know how to do this. So, and here's how we're gonna do it.
Yeah, studious and that leadership trait as well. Where do you hope to be in 4 years? You possibly graduating, but what do you hope comes of this experience?
In 4 years, I hope I have a degree, and also I hope I have like a lot of experiences, a lot of contacts, so I can like get into the job market, and hopefully have a lot of friends and experiences that I can look back on and like, this was a great part of my life. Now let's move on to the next part of my life where I can succeed in my chapter. Yeah.
So do you have any advice for any other freshmen out there who may not have jumped into the mix so quickly, if they're maybe hesitating or whatever? You got any advice for any of the freshmen?
Personally, for me, you just gotta take that risk, man. If you don't think you're gonna get into school, then at the end of the day, you gotta take it, and whatever God gives you, you have to run with it and take it. Because at the end of the day, I wasn't expecting to even be here, and once I got here, I try to treasure every moment on, hey, I'm still here. I'm trying to become who I am at the end of the day, and I want to succeed. And I feel like every freshman has that mentality, or they should have that mentality. So if they have that mentality moving forward with everything, then I feel like they can succeed. And hopefully I can succeed with this.
Right on, man. Well, I appreciate you coming on the show. Thanks for having us.
Thank you, sir.
In your life today.
Yeah, no problem. Anytime.
And that's all the time we got. So thank you, Jonathan, for coming in once again. And if you want to come in and tell your story, just email chairmanoftheboardlu@gmail.com.